So, what do you think about his upcoming trial? Because Keefe's trial starts in a little over 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to tune into it. I mean, I know no court TV gonna show it, so I'm gonna tune into it. But what I think about it is, man, it's kind of like a cold situation to be in, after all these years, and stuff, and it's like, especially at his age and the cold situation to be in, especially when they gave you a chance to speak your piece, and after that, keep your mouth closed, but he kept going. So it's like, well, I think about it. I'm gonna hope the best for him.
What do you, if you're Keefe, what are you doing? Are you're in a situation now? You've confessed 10 or 11 times at least now. Most of them publicly. Two police interviews. Um, you're about to go to trial. Would you be trying to make a deal, or are you like, let's roll the dice?
First off, I would be trying like, damn, will I roll the dice on this? To be honest, I would try to roll the dice. I would roll the dice and let him know that I would just, if I was him, I would roll the dice and be like, man, I was just talking, just to get more money out of an interview, just to be relevant about the situation. Him taking a deal, that would be he would be pleading to something.
Right. That's right. He'd have to admit that he was guilty. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have to admit that. So
If he's convicted, do you think he'll have any problems in prison?
yeah and no. Yes, being because, well, everybody loves Tupac, right? Everybody has everybody feels some type of way about us, about the situation. And the reason why I say no is because, well, he's not gonna really. I mean, he's not gonna be in a prison in California, so he's not gonna have any game problems. But just on the fact of who he is and the case he's on, that I think that alone would bring certain problems to him.
Yeah, you gotta question who's gonna like risk it, getting more time or whatever for going after somebody over a crime that happened 30 years ago, right? Even though I know it is Tupac.
Yeah. Hmm.
If it had been like a year
I
after,
mean,
it may
like,
be different, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. If it would been like like right after, yeah. But like me, even though I'm 36 years old and I'm from that area, there's still people that come to me asking me questions and like, they speak their little mind, talking about, man, y'all shouldn't have did that. That's fucked up. Pop was a good dude. So it's like, you have people that feel some type of way about that.
So even though you had obviously had nothing to do with the Tupac thing, you were a kid. Just the fact that you're affiliated with the same crew, you kind of get
Yeah, yeah.
criticism.
People speak their mind. They speak their mind about it. His biggest mistake was he should have kept his mouth closed. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? He shouldn't have said nothing. He should have kept his mouth closed and let the investigation go the way it went. You know what I'm saying? And, like, he should have just stayed quiet and let it play itself out.
Right. And what was his reputation when he was, running things?
Oh man, he was the big dog. He was
Yeah.
the big dog. There ain't no way around it. He was the big dog. Pulled up in the flyers cars. Had money, had things going about himself, had the power, had the respect, got a big family from over there. Like, he was the big dog. He was about his business.
Even I've interviewed a couple of former Compton gang cops, and they were like, we hardly ever even saw Keefe anymore, at least in the '90s, because he was so big, you just didn't see him. He wasn't the one out
Yeah,
there
yeah, yeah.
on the streets.
I would see him periodically, but he really got too big time for us to deal with. So,
Just making too much money.
Nick, yep, and he was kind of in the background. The only time we'd see him if we caught him driving in a car, standing out front of his house, but he had nothing. He was big time. He didn't have no dope or guns on him. He was over the gangster years. Now he's a big time dope dealer. But he basically was a shot caller. He was calling the shots for Southside, the Burrs crew anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, it was hard to get it. Like at that time, around that era, the streets was a little different. Gangbanging was a little different, so it was a little more love, like a little more unity, a little more respect in it. But it was like at that time, yeah, you couldn't get to him if you was a nobody, you couldn't get to him.